Hi everyone, Vegas Film Critic here, Jeffrey K. Howard, just checking over my notes here because I am reviewing a Steven Spielberg film, his 30th film and his first film for the Walt Disney Company. And I just wanted to make sure I kind of had, my ideas and my notes written down here. I'm going to cheat as I always do. That's how I'm so good at this, because I put it right over here. $140 million budget, 25 years in the making for BFG. And it's from the children's book, the very successful children's book by Roald Dahl, who did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Excuse me, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka was the movie title. James and the Giant Peach, one of my all-time favorite books. Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, The Fantastic Mr. Fox. I mean, I grew up reading all of Dahl's books. I mean, I was a huge fan. I even wrote to Roald Dahl to get the movie rights for James and the Giant Peach when I was like 12 years old. I wanted to be a producer, so that didn't work out. But I got a nice letter from them. But anyway, so we have this big adaptation of this book by Steven Spielberg. And the newcomer, what's her name? Ruby Barnhill plays Sophie, the little girl, the little orphan girl. And of course, Mark Rylance, right off his Academy Award win from Bridge of Spies, playing the BFG, the Big Friendly Giant. So, of course, Sophie is an orphan. The giant is in town, London, looking for supplies or stealing dreams. That's what he does. Does he steal them? I don't know. He collects them. Let's say that. He collects dreams. Sophie sees him. And, of course, the giant can't allow her to spread about his existence and threaten his way of life. So he kidnaps her, for all intended purposes, and brings her back to his land and his world, where in the first hour of the movie proceeds to be my dinner with Andre. Conversation between this little girl and this big friendly giant. And it's conversation that's just the most dull conversation that I've ever heard. I was so bored in the first hour of this movie. And now the giant, he's very friendly, and Mark Rylance plays him great, with great heart, great motion capture. I mean, the special effects, we don't even have to discuss how great they're going to be, how good they are. But it's just the interaction between the little girl and the giant is so god-awful slow, the pacing of it. And the giant does all kinds of, he makes mistakes on his English language, and Sophie's always correcting him. So after an hour and a half of hearing the giant going goobly goodly duckly doo, sound like Adam Sandler, I just started getting this headache. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking about a Spielberg film this way. I really had to think about this movie a lot before. And I'm not saying I hated the movie, but I just said there was so many problems with it. And the audience I saw with it, of course, a bunch of kids, they were quiet. You could hear a pin drop because nothing was going on, especially the first hour of the movie. Now, what I really wanted more of is that the big friendly giant lives with regular giants, meaning giants that dwarf him. They're rough and tumble traditional giants. They want to eat people. They want to cause mayhem. They're crazy. And listen to some of the names. We have Blood Butcher. We have Bone Crusher. We have Child Chewer, Butcher Boy, Gizzard Gulper. And of course, the main giant is voiced by Bill Hader, who's like one of my idols. So I thought every time they'd show up, I'm like, okay, cool. Here we're going to have some action. We're going to have some evil and some excitement. And all the giants are like, I've got a boo-boo. And they're like, enslave the big friendly giant. He's like, cooks for them. He does everything for them. And you're kind of like, stick up for yourself, So the movie just goes along at this snail's pace. Now, the second half of the movie, of course, involves the Queen of England. It involves the military. The British government gets involved to help prevent the giants from ever attacking London. It makes really no sense. I can just see, while I haven't read the book in a long time, I think it came out in 82. I was like 14, 13 when it came out. I can see that he adapted the book almost literally, and you can't do that sometimes because what's in a book doesn't really translate to the big screen. Just look at Harry Potter. If you read the Harry Potter books, there's just big chapters that are just gone, and you're like, oh, that was my favorite chapter in Prisoner of Azkaban, and it's just gone. In the movie, you don't have to do that. So I think Spielberg really didn't know how to edit himself in this, or I don't know. It says, he can stumble. Gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this about Spielberg. Remember Always? Yeah, that was really slow too. Remake of A Guy Named Joe. I can't watch that again, but I love 1941, considered his biggest bomb. It's one of my favorites. It's a cult classic. So Big Friendly Giant, I don't know. If the kids are going to enjoy just seeing the special effects, there really isn't much of the story there to keep you engaged. There's not really much excitement in the movie. And, even John Williams' score, John Williams is back. It's just this generic kind of John-esque kind of music going through it. I can't believe I'm saying this about Big Friendly Giant. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. I really didn't. I was bored. I really was. And I didn't have to be. With one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, you fell. You did. I kept thinking of Jack the Giant Killer. I thought that was much more exciting than it was watching BFG. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Check me out on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please contact me. I'd love to hear from you. What'd you think of BFG? Comment below, subscribe, thumbs up. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard from Las Vegas. Thanks so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you next time.